Hello and welcome back. I am Soma and thank you for stopping by. So I thought today is Sunday and a beautiful day outside, and we'll just get ourselves a cup of tea and coffee and just get chit chatting. So I don't know about you, but for me, the fact that we are in home and haven't really gone out in a long time, and things are not the same. Like, there is a pre-COVID era, and now is we are in it, and life has completely changed for all of us. So I think that, at least for me, when I think I'm going to manage my time, what I'm going to get done today, I just have so much going on and so many things I got to do, because I'm excited about the fact that I'm in home. And because I'm in home, I somehow think in my mind that I now have more time to get things done, things I always thought I didn't have time for, or I should get myself more pumped up and motivated so I can get things done. But like all of us, thinking something and getting it done, there is a huge gap between it. But there are people who we look up to, and we think like, oh my God, like, how are they so productive? How are they so motivated? How do they always keep on going? Because if you look at them, it doesn't feel like we all share 24 hours, because while we are only getting some things done and we're still thinking we should, work on more things, there are people who are getting tons and tons done. But the difference of people getting those done and some of us struggling, some of us trying to do more things, is the fact that they are managing their energy way more better. So I always think keeping your energy at optimum level. Oh, thank God, the sun is shining right now. I know the light could be a little bad because it's a really cloudy day today. I'm sorry about that, but I do hope the sun continues shining so we have better light. All right, so coming back to where we were talking, I think the difference is if we can maintain that quality of energy, which is refreshing, which is focused, which is much more lighthearted, so we work better. We are not just like burdening ourselves down with so much. So even if you're working on something, we're thinking like, oh, you know what, like I have this to do, that to do. What happens in the meanwhile is that 15 minutes that you're trying to get something accomplished doesn't happen either, because you're like so bogged down with other things that you have to take care of. So I think that quality of energy can defy like Parkinson's law. So I'm sure you have heard about Parkinson's law, which is basically if you give yourself a task and you give yourself a timeline, your work will spill over or fit into that timeline. For example, if you have a report to, let's say, submit, work, studies, whatever it is you're doing, let's say by next Friday. So okay, so I have like 7 days, 5 days, whatever, X number of days to get it done. So what you'll do is, maybe, you're the very serious kind, so you schedule yourself and you say like, the first 2 days I'll spend on research. The next 2 days I'll think what I can work on and maybe look at some other sources of information. And by this day I'll start, drafting it, then I'll edit, and then, by next Friday or whenever the deadline is, I'll get it done. Now the thing is, if you had the same amount of work given to you, but somebody said, hey, I need it by today, end of the day, by 6 p.m. or midnight, you would still get it done because you have to. It's just that you would be much more focused in getting it done, and then that's it. So the quality of energy, I think, plays a very vital role in all our lives. So today, that's what we're going to talk about. So a little bit of fact here: manage your energy and not your time, is what Harvard Business Review wrote an article about in 2007. Now, I'll try to put the link in the description box below if I can find it out once again. But the gist is, it started with a case study of people who were like working for 12 to 14 hours a day or more and getting exhausted. Pretty much that they didn't have a life, and work-life balance didn't exist because they were always working and always tired and things like that. The article continues to showcase this case study with like coaches working with these people to ensure that their life is much more leaner, as in time management, and how they can ensure they have cleaner energy, getting more done, and they have this work-life balance and how they can get it done. It's a very interesting article if anyone of you is interested and like these kind of articles. So you can definitely try that one. But the takeaway is, there are 4 kind of energy sources. It's body, emotions, mind, and spirit. So if you can manage and sort of control these 4 aspects of your life to an extent, if not completely, we can definitely ensure that we have cleaner and much more focused energy. Let's look at 5 pointers that we can simply do without investing anything or getting like more things done or acquiring more things, that we can control and look at our quality of energy. So if you're the kind of person who's always pumped up and raring to go, and maybe you go in phases, like you have this ups where you are like very motivated and working for a month, and then you are like, oh my god, I'm like burned out and I'm not doing well, and then you just have a dip, and then it's difficult for you to get back again and go up the ladder. So I think it is a very common scenario in a lot of us. So we definitely have to look at the energy and how we can ensure that we have that level of energy that we can balance out. So the ups and downs we all have, but it shouldn't be that it's so, how can I say, the difference is so much that once you're down, it's very difficult for you to get that momentum and get up again, right? For some, it could be like there are 1,000 ideas in your head that you want to get done, and it can be done because it's all in your head and you have chalked it all out and it's wonderfully planned, but the actual execution to get it implemented and done has been more difficult for you. So the way you think, and when you have to implement, maybe it never gets done, maybe you started but don't end it. It could be multiple scenarios. It could be at your workplace, it could be the way you handle your personal business, it could be the ideas, you could be a startup, you could be a hustler, you could be anything, right? So number one tip is that downtime is very, very important, and we have heard it, read it enough, but I think the main point always is to experience it for yourself. So take a downtime, as in if not a vacation possible, like if you can schedule an hour where you actually do nothing, like you don't go and clean up some bookcase, or you are not cooking, or you're not reading, or you're just not basically doing anything. And I think Elizabeth Gilbert in the movie and the book Eat, Pray, Love had a phrase for it, the art of doing nothing. I think it was La Dolce Far Niente, excuse my pronunciation, I'm no Italian guru. So the point is that everyone needs that downtime. So you have to figure out how you will have that downtime in your schedule. And I have seen it personally as well, like when I'm doing 100 things and I'm constantly like stressing out that I have more to do and more to do, I actually don't end up doing anything. There will be days when I'm like very stressed out and I'll be like, God, I just can't do it anymore, and I'll just go take a nap, or I'll just flip a magazine, and then 15 minutes later I feel so refreshed that I am in a position in my headspace to go and handle a problem or tackle a problem. So I think downtime is very important. I've also read the book by Cal Newport called Deep Work, which is a highly recommended book, by the way. I think he also talks a lot about downtime. So downtime is something, even like the names that we know, like Bill Gates or Jack Dorsey, they all take. I think there is Bill Gates used to have his maybe he still has the Think Weeks, where he basically packs his reading materials and books and then completely takes his flight and goes to this cabin and spends a couple of weeks there just reading and just doing his own thing, and that is the way how he has his downtime. Jack Dorsey, on the other hand, completely isolates himself, where there is no gadgets, no books, no thinking, no talking, not even eye contact with anybody else. So he takes himself completely out of the equation, and just his downtime is very I don't know how to say it, like conservative downtime, or like it is really downtime because he's not in contact with anybody. So he's just there by himself without things to distract him, like a gadget or a book or anything else. So you don't have to go to that extent where you don't even have eye contact with anybody, but I think just having some time for yourself in whichever format, in whatever time frame it works for you, is definitely something that is something that you can definitely give it a try. One is nap time. Now, yes, we are very, very busy. We don't have time to nap because we are just doing one thing and another. And frankly, during your weekdays, if you are working, like you have a proper 9-to-5 job, I mean, who naps? At least not in Indian culture, right? But there are a lot of Asian countries where you'll have like beds to nap on, and there'll be time like nobody like will look at you weird, like you nap at work. So that does not happen because it's encouraged that you take the nap time. And Rujita Devakar, I think her 2020 12-week guideline had nap time as one of the things that she introduced. So basically what I understood is, as soon as you have your lunch and you can, you know, just nap for only 20 minutes, like 20 to 25. Napping does not mean you, like, you know, completely zone out for like next 2 to 3 hours, but having that 20 minutes of nap time definitely recharges you, relaxes you, helps in your digestion and things like that, and is very, very important for our energy level as well. And I have tried it. It's kind of difficult sometimes because I think if I don't get up by that 20 minute, I usually will put a timer, and then I'll usually put a timer, and then I'll try to like close my eyes and nap. You really don't like sleep in that 20 minutes. It's more like you are in somewhere like a kind of relaxed, hazy mindset, like you are sleepy but not sleepy. So you are aware of what is going on around you, but you're like resting, and I like the feeling of that nap thing. But the problem is, if I don't get up by the 20 minutes, by the time it's like 30 minutes, I am sleeping, and then I'll get up like 1 or 2 hours later, which is not a very wonderful thing to happen during a work week. So if you want to nap, I think you can just use a chair, a comfortable chair to nap on, or things like that. So it's easy for you to wake up. Time between 2 p.m. and 4 p.m. is the nap zone. This is easy and absolutely doable. You just have to figure out you don't doze off like for more than an hour or so. Number 3 is getting some quiet time, which is pretty much very similar to the downtime, but I think when you're having some quiet time, it could also be like you're still working on something, and then you can shut off the distractions and things like that. There are multiple apps available these days, so you can definitely use one of those apps where you cut off any other, or you can time yourself when you will use the apps and not use it when you're really working and you need to focus. By doing that, you're not constantly how can I say, switching on and off between, oh, you know, let's see Twitter for a second, and then you're like, someone messaged me on Facebook, or let's see what's going on WhatsApp, and then you're trying to work on it again, and then you're distracted again. So what happens when you toggle between this all the different kind of modes, apart from your energy being like a little bit bogged up and down, I think what happens is it takes you a little bit of time to again get yourself back in the momentum to work. So I think in the worlds of coaching, we always say that try to focus on something, get it done, even if it's a task which is related to completely to work. Don't try to toggle, because what happens is by shifting this focus, you lose like 25% of the focus, and you're constantly doing one thing and then moving on to another. So break down the tasks if that is required, or you can't focus for like let's say an hour or two, you need like smaller slots of time. So have tasks which is like 20 minutes or 30 minutes, put on like a Pomodoro timer, get the work done, and then switch to something else instead of constantly switching. And I think this is like no brainer, like don't have all the notifications in the apps in your phone always there, because what happens is you know, everyone is like WhatsApping you or tweeting you or things like that, and you always think, hey, my Insta got a like, let me see who liked it. You don't need that. You just post it and you're done, and you check when you check. So you don't want all these notifications popping up all the time. The next one is getting rid of distractions. Now, this is very simply said, or can be done simply, like it could be a place that you have dedicated for yourself where you can, you know, close the door and work, or it could be that nook or the corner where you can just sit and work. Whatever the scenario is, wherever you live and however you can do certain things, I think it can definitely be done. I think you will read a lot about these writers like J.K. Rowling and people like that, who actually who booked hotel rooms and went and worked there to finish off their works because there was so much distraction going on. There are a lot of articles, and I think I covered it in one of my blog posts too, about like being in the zone. So you'll notice, like, you know, when you sit to work, like maybe it takes you 15-20 minutes to get into that momentum, but once you hit the momentum, things are working way faster and you can get more done, and you are just in the zone. So if you are in the zone, you do not want to be distracted, because you know you can get a lot more done than you can do when you're trying to gain that momentum. So if you are in the zone, don't let it go. Just switch off everything, shut the door, and get the work done. So I know for me, when I do my writings, as in whether it's my blog post or usually the other websites or columns that I write for, I usually do the main work at night. So I know when my son is in bed and everything is taken care of, so nobody's going to come and bother me. Everything is done for the day. I write. So it's usually sometimes after 11 p.m., sometimes it's later, but that 1 hour that I get is like rock solid because there is no one to bother me, and I get more done in that 1 hour than I will get probably in 2-3 hours done during regular daytime, because everyone comes and bothers you and everyone isn't home, right? So it's very difficult. So the last one, and this is one of my favorite ones, is setting up a routine. Why your quality of energy and routine is so important is because, let's say if you have a morning routine, when we get up in the morning, either we have like a good vibe, or we are like frustrated, or it's sort of a negative vibe, if not completely negative. The way you can completely change it is if you have a routine and you can insert things in your morning routine that actually pumps you up. So maybe you could, blast off some good music that you like. You could watch some of your favorite YouTubers if you like. You can even read a religious or inspiring book, whatever is your thing that allows you to feel good about yourself. And you have that 15 minutes for yourself where you are doing all those things. I think it somehow your energy is much more positive, you feel much more motivated, and you can get a lot more done during the day. So I think there are smaller habits that you can take care of. So how do you create your morning routine is a topic we will probably do a video on later, but for now is keep something that inspires you, keep something that motivates you, and then something that you look forward to. I recently read an article, I can't remember where one of these writers was trying to get up at 5 a.m. and I think he said that in trying to make myself get out of bed, like alarms don't work for me. So what I do is I like prep myself the night before. I'm going to go to bed early, but tomorrow at 5 a.m. when I wake up, I'm going to watch my favorite Netflix show for 1 hour. And that's how he gets up, because he's like happy, he's not working, he'll just make himself a cup of coffee and watch one of his favorite Netflix shows. And once like that hour or time zone is done, then he starts his work. So everyone has this completely random thing to do. You might not be the person who wants to get up to a Netflix show in the morning. It could be news for you, it could be good music for you, it could be meditation for you. Everyone has their own thing. So just try out different, and if you're not sure like which one is your thing right now, which happens all the time, just try a couple of things, see what you like. So most of the people like music, so find out your genre of music that you're interested in, and then just try it in the morning and see if it makes you feel good. And then instead of if you're waking up at 8, instead of just saying from tomorrow it's 5 a.m., well, just try half an hour early, and then you can keep on like till you are at 5 a.m. and 6 a.m. and whatever is the comfortable time for you. So any routine, or you could have a routine when you sit to actually work. It could be maybe a website that you look at, it could be some articles or your favorite authors that you read, or you just like to read like how people focus more on their work, whatever you find inspiring. I think it definitely helps you clear off the distractions in your own mind, and you're much focused. So oh, this person has been doing it, let me go ahead and give it my best shot today. So I think yeah, that's about it, and I hope you find it helpful. And like always, if you like the content, or if you are happy to share it with your friends, please do. Please subscribe to the channel and hit the bell button, because you will get the notification if you hit the bell button. So even if you're subscribed, sometimes the emails might go later, but yeah, hit on the bell button and you'll be notified every time a video is uploaded. And thank you very much for stopping by, and if you're still here, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye bye.